Hey guys, what's going on? This is Anthony Gray. I got the chair kind of zoomed in a bit. The camera zoomed in quite a bit. I am going to make a birthday card. I used to get into card making. I've never did a card making video. So I decided I might as well show you the steps I go about in making one today. I will be doing a lot of speeding up of the video because I don't want to make it too monotonous for you. Obviously, it will be in stages over the period of a day or two. This will be a multimedia type of card. It will be marker, it'll be paint, ink, or whatever that might come to mind. Okay, so first off, I do have a general idea. This is going to be a SpongeBob card. Yes, I said it. SpongeBob Square Freaking Pants. That's what she likes. This, and she she is born October 30th. Yeah, the day before Halloween. Go figure, right? So I'll have a lot of fun with that. But the first thing I'm going to do is make a mess, of course. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, go back to my old roots here in doing comic book covers and stuff like that. I'm going to have to, well, not really. I'll just reach behind myself here. I was going to cross in front of you guys, but I don't need to. I got a metal one right here. This is obviously 11 by 15. All right. So we're going to need about 7.5 inches will be exactly half. So I will mark off the 17.5. All right. Actually, I just did that wrong. I'll correct it. That's not exactly 7.5. The one on the bottom is. Let's get rid of this. Let's do it again. This is 7.5. I will mark where the half point will be. Give me a nice little guideline here. There. All right. If you're curious to know what I'm going to do exactly, it is I'm going to cover 1/2 of this paper in black, but I'm going to fade it a little past the half line so it kind of like melts into the white in here. All right. So it'll cover up the line, but I just need to know where the half is going to be. So, how am I going to get that fade effect? Well, I got some loosened up acrylic, which is gesso, it's black. And I'm going to wet the other half of the paper. Not necessarily this half, but all up and around here. I'll soak it pretty good. There's a method to my little madness. I can soak up some of this here. I really want the paint to kind of run and act kind of weird on this half here. So if it starts to dry up, I can wheel it around a little bit. I'll be editing out those coughs. I don't know why I cough like that when I talk on these things, but I do. Matter of fact, let's do this now. Let's play around. The other half all in here. Just like that. And let it do whatever it's going to do. As you can see, it started to dry up around here. So I kind of want that to squirm out a little bit. Yeah. let it act up. But back here, anything back here, solid black. All this will be black back here. But I need that fade up and around these parts. Let it fade and do whatever, but this will be pitch black. Scoop some of that up. As long as I get it solid black down here, doesn't really matter anywhere else. Now, I have to wait for all this to totally dry, of course. And I'm gonna put a nice wash, a bright pastel kind of color, once this is completely dry. But for the effect to really be effective, definitely has to be a fade, but it also has to be black where I want it to be, jet black. So this is about right about in here. Now I got the heater going. If you can't tell, if you can't hear it already, I do have the heater going, so that will no doubt aid in the drying of this. So every little bit helps. I'm going to put a candle on this side here. That's why I have to wait for it to totally, completely dry. Then I will come back and I will sketch in a candle. And plus I have to clean my water because it is nicely saturated, obviously with black ink or paint, whatever you want to call it. So I will let this fully dry. You can see the kind of the fade effect that's going on with it. All right. And I'll have, once it's totally dry, I'll get some nice color and just glaze over where the fade is and everything, where it will not have much of an effect on the side that's black, but you'll see the color, the transition and everything. So that's what we're going to do with this part of the paper. The inside of the card will more than likely be some kind of pop-up of sorts. It'll be like a 3D card. Okay. I will put comic style lettering somewhere around in here also, but once I get the background fully done, I will draw the character, put the character in here with something cute to say or whatever. Put a nice little border around it. You know, all that good stuff. But you'll see me do all of that in the process of me making the card. And once it's done, I will have to turn this card over and give it a nice little wash on the inside. Okay. And after that, put some kind of generic kind of color behind that. And I'll use a separate sheet of paper to do the inside of the card and whatever details I might want it inside. The card will be, obviously when I put it in half, it'll be a vertical card. So the 3D pop-up would have to be on the back side of this to all the mechanisms will probably be on the inside back of this to make the image pop out. And there's multiple ways of doing that, and I'll just show you one of those ways. Okay, But until then, I'm going to sign off, and I will be right back, and we'll go through the next phase of doing the card. Okay, we're back. It's perfectly dry. Now, the tricky part is putting the glaze on and getting it the right amount of paint and water mixed in there, because I don't want to overshadow the black that's on there. So it'll be a nice little mix of blue and water. And I want to try to go over this where I get a nice bluish cast. It doesn't run into the black. Okay. Work kind of fast with it. If I have to go over it a few times, I'll go over it a few times. At it. Once again, I'll wait for this to dry. I'll taper up, and I'll do the candle. Alright, so stay tuned. Alright. I'm going to get to the candle. I'm going to do something a little different. I'll freehand the candle a little bit here. I'll have it maybe around here. Go straight downward with it. Try to make sure my head is in the way. And I'm gonna fade this candle. Probably be a little melted down in here, but I'm gonna fade the candle right out of the picture. All right. Of course, you know, you have your little globs there. It comes there. And something like that. It bulges out a little bit. Something like that. The wick could be here. And a nice little flame, fire, or whatever. Pretty much like that. No more, no less. Candle. All right. Okay. So far, so good, right? Alrighty. Now it's time to choose whatever brush I like to do for this, and I think I'll use 3/4 inch brush, flat. 3/4 inch flat. All right. I am not going to make the candle white yet. I will do it in gray. Then I will add the white to that gray. There's a method to my little madness. But in case if you're wondering what exactly it is, it's Bob Ross gesso. I had it for quite some time during my oil painting days. I'm gonna add give a little wick in there, right about here. All right. I'll take if I can find one, continue that wick straight up here, just like that. All right. See, that wasn't too bad, was it? All right. as I'm checking things out here, I'm going to take that same brush that I had. I'm going to play around with some subtle shadows where the melted wax is. Like say, oh, a little bit in here, a little bit of it in here. Now my paintbrush is starting to split, so it's going to be kind of delicate. This also adds to your 3-dimension, the appearance of the shadows. Put some thick ones right there. It goes thin, thick, thin, thick. And let's cup it a little bit in there. That's trail. Same thing over here. Back in here. Oh, let's give him a little lip in here too. Just a little slight one. In here too. Let's get it pretty dark. Let's do a little playing around in here. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm just checking things out, so to speak. Get some of that out of there, get some of that out of there. Let's get a little bit of them out of there too. Alright. Let that totally dry. Okay. As you can see, let me draw back a little bit. As you can see, I taped her up fairly well. Okay. I had to. It was, you know, buckling and folding and such, so I had to kind of tape it up pretty good. But as you can see, it looks like a candle coming out of nowhere. We'll work on that flame a little bit. The hotter it is. We'll play with some white in there, something like that. Okay, rinse off my little brush. We're gonna dab in some yellow right into that white, right in here. Like so. Wash that off. And we'll put a little red in there too. Mix it right in there with everything else. Just like so. Okay. I'm gonna wet that down a little bit. Get some white, a little bit of yellow. Really wet it down. Time to play around. Little cast shadows here and there. A little more yellow. Come up around here. Some around in here. Now it turned into little blazes here and there. Okay. I might even put some bright whitish yellow. I'll touch it a little bit out here, a little bit. Something like that. Something like so. Alright. Might be a little far away for you to tell. Put some out here. Little highlights out here. Yeah, I think it might be a little far away for you to really tell what I'm doing. So let's go in just a little bit. At least I can show you for a few seconds anyway, right? Aim it downward there. And we'll draw it back a little bit. Back. All right. There you go. Okay. If I wanted to, white in there. Not too much. Not really. Just a little bit here and there. Okay. I can get a little white, touch of red, touch of yellow, water it down a little bit. Get plenty of it. Totally clean the brush. And on one side and one side only. I had to get a better brush than this one. I'm looking. Nah, I'll work with this one. It's a little raggedy, but I'll work with it. Let's put a little. Working outside here. Circular. Little glow out there. It's mostly water. On one side, the paint is also watered down, so it gives us a nice little glow. Let it come out there, fade on out. Turn my brush around, do the same thing on the other side. Nice little glow. In a circle. Up to you how wide you want the circle. As it dries, you'll see the little color. Getting a little more water. I just want the inside to be a little more opaque. I can destroy some of that edge in there as I get around to it. Rinse it off. Still got water on the brush, and I can just destroy some of that edge in there. Just like that. Let it dry and you'll see the effect you'll have. All right. Not too bad, right? Not too hard to do. Once you get the technique of it, you can do stuff like this all day. 1/2 candle, done. Middle of the page is somewhere around here, more or less. All right. Still keep the fade out all day because it'll be folded. So you got the candle. We're gonna put SpongeBob here with some ridiculousness he's gonna say up here, and to make it ironic, I'm gonna have his eyes bug out and look towards the candle. All right. Still kind of representing Halloween and all of that. What I'm gonna do once this is totally dry, I'm gonna have to deal with it. I'll peel this. I think I'm gonna make a black border, and I'm gonna take a silver pen, and I'll make a nice silver highlight around that black border. So we'll be doing that next. Yep, we'll be doing that next. All right, guys, stay tuned. All right, here comes the fun part. I gotta create a border around the frame of this picture, and put a metallic. I knew that was gonna happen, but that would be all right. Put a metallic border around it. As you can see, I put a tear in there, but it's not going to really matter because it will be a border around the whole shebang. So I will do the sides first and try to stay out of your way so you can check it out. When it comes to doing black, you really don't want a tear like I just did on the other side. So I'm doing a lift pull method. That's all. I don't necessarily have to have, obviously, a black border around black, but I'm going to do it regardless. keeps with the flow of things. So that's basically why I'm doing it. Okay. Now I'll start with the obvious side first, which is already black. I don't really have to worry about anything spilling over. Just paint it. There you go. That is it. That's all it takes. This side's a little more methodical. You don't want your paint to bleed through. Okay. So I'll go from the tape's edge out. That should prevent a lot of the bleeding through. Okay. So that's all I'm doing. Half-inch tape, so I really don't have to worry about going too far inward and destroying the color per se. And that should be it, really. If all goes well, we'll see in a second. I'll take off the obvious, which isn't going to really make much difference because it's already black on black, so it's not going to really do anything. Lift and pull. That edge is not want to really press an edge where I know it's going to get painted. That border is a little thin to me. I think I can have it a little thicker than that. I'll peel it back up. Oh. At least a half-inch. That was a little less than a half-inch. That might work fine for me here. And just press it. All right. I'm gonna go on the light side first. Right from here. And just go upward. Let's take this with me here. Once again, I'll say it's 11 by 15 watercolor paper. It's pretty durable stuff. Now where it's black on black, I really don't have to worry about being too precise. You're not going to see it anyway. Okay. And that's it for that one side on the top. And we'll just peel it off. There, that's not too bad. As much as I try not to put my head in the picture, my head goes in the picture. It's okay. All right. Start from the lit side here, the bright side. Go right off the tape. Right into the tape, off into the paper itself. Never rush your project. Give yourself enough time to do it. That always helps. I'm going to go right across here. I tore some of the paper on the other side, but you can never tell once the black is over it. I'll touch up little bits and pieces where the tape grabbed. Just a slight thing, no big deal. All right, and let's do it from here. Same pull, lift, action. Don't rush it. I don't have to. We'll go next. Will be SpongeBob. Probably a close-up of him somewhere on here. I might probably do it on a separate piece of paper and use pen and ink maybe to color maybe with marker or whatever. Or I could just use a wash of yellow and do it. It'll still be on this type of paper, watercolor paper. And then I will just cut them out with an X-Acto knife and I'll glue them up in here. And I'll put the do the same, pretty much the same thing with the lettering. I'll put the lettering in here somewhere. I'll probably hand do the lettering. And really that's it as far as the cover is concerned. I'll once I get the cover done, I'll spray it. So thank you very much, and I shall see you on the next segment. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Anthony Gray. I know this is just a clip segment, but it's actually another day. Okay, from the last time. Remember this? As you can see with the light hitting it, I got a silver pin or metallic gold pin. As you can see the light hitting it there. So I waited till it dried, and I all the way around it. You're not gonna see it much on the light end, but it's there. Okay. Yeah, you're not gonna see it on the lit side there. Well, on the dark side, you see the metallic pin. You see the reflectiveness of it. But that's all I did. So all that's dry. It's complete. Yesterday, off camera, I just flipped around, colored it black painted it black on the other side. Okay, because whatever I do, whatever 3D stuff I do, whatever, it'd be against the black background. Whatever type of attachment I'll put to it, I'll paint that black so it all kind of matches if you look at it from the side or whatever. So that's basically all I did. I took a little burnisher and a ruler, and I just scored in the middle so it folds. Okay, if you don't know what that is, it's one of these guys. See the little ball? Okay, I'll put it right there. Yeah, you should be able to see it there. The black background back there. See the little ball? You just put it against, take a ruler, and you just, make an indentation in the paper, and you just fold it. Get a nice clean fold. Okay, so that's the back cover actually. That's what it looks like. And there's your front. All right. So what I'm gonna work on next is a sketch of SpongeBob that will be placed here on the front. Now, how I'm gonna approach this is that Spongy is going to be a cutout. So I will do the coloring, the sketching of SpongeBob on a separate sheet of paper. I will have it to the size of where it would fit on this. All right, so it won't be bigger than the area itself, because I got to put lettering there also. So I think I'll just do the whole lettering and his whole character and the lettering, cut it out, and I'm gonna glue it onto the front. Once it's glued to the front, I think that's all I'm gonna do with it, and then I'll varnish it, and then I'll work. I just wanted to show you what I did do when the camera was off. Expedites time a little bit. Who wants to see me sit there and paint black? All right. So, with all that said, I'll shut this down, get everything set up, and we can get ready to go and have a little fun. Hello. Right. Okay, I sketched out SpongeBob. All right, now SpongeBob is a cartoon. I want to try to keep him that way. All right. You try to draw him realistically, he's going to turn out looking creepy. The thing about pencils and markers, once you put marker, I'm using what is this, Crayolas? I think there are a bunch of Crayola markers. It doesn't matter what kind of markers you use really. Pentex, whatever markers. Once markers go over pencil line, it doesn't come out. So whatever you have on pencil, make sure it's something that's you want permanent, because it sure will be. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is actually color this guy in. I'm not really a big fan of Spongy, and I have to have reference material. So my trusty pad over here, as you can see, a bunch of reference of SpongeBob. All right. Whatever look I'm going to have for Spongy, I do that obviously on my own. I just need pretty much what he looks like. Okay. And that's about it. What is white on SpongeBob would be his shirt, sleeves, the collar, and the tie is white. Sometimes the tie can be red or whatever color you want the tie. Pants are brown. he's got blue eyes. Okay, and obviously he's a sponge and he's yellow. Okay, so I may speed this up because I, can get kind of monotonous watching me color unless I color and talk. All right, so if I have a point to bring out, then I'll slow it down a little bit. We're all pretty much good. I just cut what I need. Okay, which is really this area here. I'll just cut it and cut around him actually, and use what I need, and then put it on the mock-up. Once that mock-up is done, or put it on the cover, I will spray lacquer the whole thing. It will be finished, and then I'll work on the interior. So on the next cut, I will be back with the whatever I'm going to put down there. I'll show you how I do that, and then we'll get on to the fun stuff. All right, stay tuned. Okay. So what I did was go on Microsoft Publisher and found me the comic lettering and put her name down. This is going to be the inside. This is going to be what's on the outside, just above his head, right about here. So all I'm going to do is really cut it out, glue it on, and I'll draw the thought bubble around it. Okay, here's the craft part, I guess. So I'll dip in front of you here, knock stuff on the floor where I have to get to it later and complain about it. And I'll just cut it right out. So now I got just that little sliver right there. Just put it there. And I put the thought balloon around that. And just take some glue if I can find it. I know I said it somewhere. It's that old man syndrome, I guess. There it is. Okie dokie. Work on a flat surface. When you go to glue, I use regular Elmer's glue. When you go to glue it on, you really don't need too much glue. You don't want it to like go all over the place. Pretty much know where you're gonna put it. I think I'll put it a little bit right around here. As you can see, the glue moves around a little bit until it totally dries. Get it as close to the edge as you can. When I mean edge, I mean when you glue, get it as close to the edge as you can. If you tend to get a little mess, get a little glue on your fingers, it's alright, wipe it away. It is paper glue, pretty harmless. Okay. Now I got, as you can see, some of the black, probably from the ink from my fingers. It's here in the corner. Don't worry about that. That can be taken care of quite nicely. So don't fret. That's all I would need of that for right now. As far as the smudge, nothing white paint cannot take care of. So I'll just use a thin coat of white paint. Any brush will do, really. I'll just use my little slanted brush. Just get rid of it. Get rid of the smudge. Smooth it out. It dries. It's acrylic. If you still see it, go over it again. Just like so. It disappears. They go away. Let it dry. If you see shades of it, just go over it again. Acrylic paint dries pretty quickly, so don't really fret yourself over it. Even if I use acrylic paint to cap off, I always put it back on. I always glue, I always seal it back up again. Alright, all I did was cut it as close as I can to the point where I want it. I smudged it. I had ink on my fingers and I smudged it a little bit. But I take care of that with some white gesso, go over it a couple times, and then that's the end of that. As it's drying, I'll do the thought balloon. I'll sketch that in right now, actually. I didn't turn my mic on, I was just blabbing away. Like I say, when you half pay attention, you know, those things happen. Now this is still pretty wet, so I gotta be a little careful. I'll start it around, put it around here. Oh, around here a little bit. And maybe I'll put this thought balloon right about there. Something like that. Go around here a little bit. Just like that. Okay. I kind of want it to connect, really, so I don't have to cut two separate pieces out. So I'll do one of those just to keep them connected. So when I go to cutting, all right, I can just cut around all of that, connect him. It just makes life a whole lot easier. You follow me? So what I'll do, I'll show you me cutting this. Draw it back out a little bit. Raise her up. When it comes to the X-Acto knife, be extremely careful with it, because this has a way of taking off layers of skin. All right, this is a little dull. I've used it for cutting cardboard boxes and such, so it'll easily cut through this stuff. I have a drawing table here. It's been through its battles. All right, I just knocked and the dog is barking because she thinks somebody's knocking at the door. Actually, he. So I'll let him bark. He'll get over it. And I'll just start doing the cutting. I'll cut as close to the black line as I can. I'm pressing pretty good on it. Now, whatever I can't seem to get, I will probably go back over it with black when I put it on the paper itself. I'll get it as close as I can. Try to remember where you end it when you do these. Like I say, I'm pressing pretty good on this. And I'm also at a vertical position here. When it comes to cutting out the character, no matter what character you do, don't rush it. If you're cutting to the black, that's fine. You can always go back over it again when you glue it onto your subject. All right. Be very steady, very careful. Do not rush this part of the process. It'll save everybody a world of hurt and a whole lot of time. I'm gonna cut right across the paper here, right across the edge. I kind of know where, because I'm gonna place him on the bottom anyway. So Still got some pressure on this guy. Try to take him off as carefully as I can. I think I went around this guy here. I don't know if I went on the back way or not, but I'll start from here. Keep it as still as you can. It's like so. A pair of scissors will work quicker, more than likely. But for the sake of time, and I've been doing this for a minute, I'll just stay with the X-Acto knife. I don't remember me doing this part. If I did, I can tell if it starts slivering up on me. Like I say, I don't remember. It's that half paying attention thing again. I don't think I did. I don't feel the... But I know I went at least this far. Now this is watercolor paper. It's kind of durable. So even though I'm pressing pretty hard, it may not go through all the way. Okay. And if it doesn't, then I'll just cut it with scissors. But I'm pressing pretty good on this. Try not to get in your way too much. Alrighty then. So we'll see how much of this I actually cut. Once you do cut it, it's pretty. The paper is pretty stiff. Just give it a little press. Guiding my hands. I'm also pulling backwards, so if it tears, it'll tear underneath and not above. Now where the balloon is, the thought balloon here, give it a little press. A little pull. And I got tape on that corner. Right here I got tape. Get the tape off. And I'll continue on, opposite direction. Get rid of that. There, I did not cut that part. That part I can tell I didn't cut. Just by the feel of it. So, I will continue the cut right here. Go up around here a little bit more. I always place my X-Acto knife in the same position. I like cutting on the tougher paper because it can obviously take a little bit more punishment. There. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Alright. But there she is. Alright. So if it rips in the back, it rips in the back. No big deal. You're going to glue all that anyway. But here he is. With his thought balloon and everything in place. Alright. One piece of tape in the back. That's all I need. I will position Spongy approximately bloop, right around here. Just like so. This is where Spongy is going to go. This is why I measured the way I measured. I can actually have Spongy move over a little bit to give him the letterbox itself some space. But he will be placed right here. Now, when I do glue this guy, I'll take him off the board. I will place him. I got some heavy books on a dresser, and I will place this, flatten it right out, right on the dresser, so he will be perfectly flat, perfectly still. All of it will be glued on. If I have to go back over it in black, then I'll just trace over what I did. All right, kind of melts him right into the paper itself. I got little stragglers hanging around out there that I don't want. Okay, I can easily remedy that with the scissors instead of the X-Acto knife. Really not too difficult at all to do. You know, just cut it right off. Okay, you can get them right off of there, or you can just take it and you can just peel it from the back and get the little stragglers off. Okay. Or another way to do it, if you don't want to spend all that time, is just go back over it with black, a thicker black marker line there. So I will get the glue and I will glue this guy right on there. Now, when you go to glue, right around, now this is thick paper, all right? So you glue right around the edges, all the way around, right around the edge, glue in the center here, all the way around this guy, all the way around the edge. Okay, and you put an X mark here or whatever, maybe a little line here, and that's all you need. The most important part is to get the edges to stick. Follow me? Now, a little bit obviously will come off when you press it on there. It'll kind of get a little gooey, whatever, but it's also clear. So long as you don't smudge it, you'll be good with the colored background. I got a screen that goes in all different positions, so there. That's cool. Something like that. Alrighty. My little markers here. And we're gonna do it right around here. I don't have to have thick globs of paint for this. Let's keep it still. You don't really need too much. It is paper glue. And you put a line right there. No big deal. Do the same thing here. The edge, get as close to the edge as you can. Now, I'm kind of mindful that it does spread out. So I'm also keeping that in mind. Once you press it, it kind of smushes around. So even though I'm close to the edge, just like that. I just don't want it to like leak all over the place, and you know, I got paint and crap on my hands. So we're gonna go right back up to the board here. Right about there. Alrighty, placement time. I gotta place Spongy where there's enough room for his thought balloon, and it's not too close to the folded edge. So we're just about there. All I gotta do is press it a little bit. And just hold it for a few seconds. Get it to stick. Now as glue dries, it constricts. Won't be too much constricting with this paper here. It's pretty strong stuff. Now I'm gonna take this paper off, take this off, and I'm gonna flatten it with the books. So we should be pretty good. All right. So while this is doing this, it's peeling off right now until I flatten it with the book. So while this is drying, I'm going to think about and prepare for the inside of the cover. All right, so I will see you shortly. Okie dokie now. We're gonna do a nice little, I thought about it, do a nice little underwater scene, all right? Now how I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna put some little underwater mountains or whatever, but it'd be in a weird perspective kind of angle for half the page. Then I'll do some kind of coral looking underwater thing here for the background where the character is going to be. But back here to be some kind of perspective underwater deal. But right now I'm going to just get the background, the water straight here. Okay. So it'll be done in a few layers. Spray the paper down a little with water, mist it a little bit, and just get it moist. And then I will start to play. So I'm going to get a little bit of blue, some green in that blue, get some white, lighten it up a little bit. And I'm going to go back and forth in a wavy pattern like so. Once that dries, I'll add another, just like this. I will soak it, add some blue or whatever in there, make it look like water in front of it. It'll be a little darker shade of blue. So there's a method to my madness. But we're gonna let that settle and dry a little bit and everything. And plus I got the background I want to do for this part. Then once it flattens out, I'll work on doing the 3D effects for the character itself. So we still got a little bit to do for this part in here. And what I can do actually, since I'm already in that vein to do it, so I will give a background. Might as well do it right now. It will be more like some kind of coral looking deal all up around here. Need something to go in front of this. Then I can pretty much color all that in. I was a wee bit interrupted, so that kind of threw things off a little bit, but we shall move on. Let's put something in here to kind of set that back. All right. I had something in mind, but I'm gonna do something else. A little bit of something else. Get a little bit of black going on here. Will be directly in front of all of this. Okay, but I need it to be heavily textured. Let's put it that way. So I'm going to use a little bit of black, and we're going to texture away. As you can see, the mountains, underwater mountains in the back, are now set further apart back there. This mask is directly in front. And you got it lighter here, darker up there. But you still have the sense of perspective. It's aerial perspective even though it's underwater. How's that for a brain twist, huh? All right, there. While gravity is taking hold of this thing, I'm gonna let it do what it does, and we'll put a couple back there, like one, maybe one there, a couple here and there, maybe one running into the other one, like that. I don't think you guys can see that at all. I don't think you can. So we'll bring it this way. We'll put one right there, and we'll put one right here, and one here, put one running in there, one there, half of one there, some in there, like so. There can be other colors also. I'll put one with a little bit of blue in it, like that. Put some hanging around down there. And just to be different, I'll put one right there. Maybe two together like that. And maybe one in there, like in there. How about up here? put a couple up there. Now in doing that, I just got rid of a lot of the white, which is fine. But you can kind of see what it looks like. Okay. So I got little bubblets running around in there, here and there. But when it totally dries, I'm going to put some the blue over the bubbles and all. Cover all of that. Then I'll put some bigger ones, bokeh effects in there. Okay. And then I'll work with adding the character and the little saying. Pop him out. It'd be good to go. So we're going to let this dry a little bit. And I'll be right back with you. All right, guys. It's totally dry. Okay. A little spray. I'll keep the water right here this time. Same brush. Okie dokie. Now that that's done, I have the interior done. Exterior is already done. So I will take this off, let it fully dry. Doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. I just need a nice flat surface. So when I come back, I will have another sketch of SpongeBob here, penciled in sketch. I'll go through the inking process and the coloring process and all that good stuff, and then we'll cut it out. And then the next segment after that will be the actual putting together of the A2 3D piece. Right back. Okay, guys, how you doing? We are yet to all right, there he be. Now I do have smudge marks that I don't particularly care for up in here. See those? Well, that's the outside line, but they're in here. I don't particularly, I'm not very fond of that. So I can get a few of those out of there, actually. And just take a fine tip paintbrush. And just white it out. If you're not too sure about the steadiness of your hand doing it, then I would stay away from it, or get a whiteout pen or something. All I have to do really is just to cut him out, and once I cut him out, I'll make the little mechanism for him to kind of pop out from the scene. Okay, so in essence, guess I'll use this little guy and see how well he'll work today. It's just another X-Acto blade. This one's much sharper than the previous one. Got to be real careful with this guy. So I guess I'll cut out the letter first. Let's see how bad the damage is here. Not doing too bad, I guess. Now when you get little stragglers like that, just peel it right off, like so. That is no big deal. Anyway, there you have it. Okay. It's pretty strong stuff. You can hold it like that from its tip. So watercolor paper is pretty, like I say, pretty durable stuff. Excuse me. Next is this traditional one. And then this guy here. Difference in blade sizes. And this one retracts. Actually the safer of the two. Okay. In my advertising design days, when they did more art-oriented stuff before the PCs came in, I used to have quite a collection of these. Okay. Let's see how well I've done. Because all it takes is really is a slight push. Remember, it's taped on the background, so that's what I'm fighting with over here. Careful around this little feetsies. I got tape over there. He's taped up pretty good on that one side. There. Okay. As you can see, he's taped up pretty good. There. Take the tape off this guy. There. Now, remember that little space there? I know I've cut that out pretty good, so it just takes a little nudge. Straggle a little. Pop. There we go. Okay. Cute, right? All right, enough of that. Anyway, here's Spongy. He's all cut, all set, all ready to go. All right. And his little thought balloon. Okay. Put it there, put it here. All right. Okay. Okay. That's all complete. What we're going to do now is place Spongy in this background. Spongy will be put somewhere around here. All right. Now this has been painted, obviously dried, and I've already scored it. See the fold? Okay, you should be able to see the fold like that. So he's already been scored. Spongy will take up about that much of the page. But instead of having him plastered on, I'll have him stick out. It'll create a cast shadow or whatnot. And when you close it, it'll just push down. But it'll pop out. So how far I want it to pop out, pretty much be up to me. I'll probably have him pop out quite a ways maybe. And he would twist, move around or whatever, but he'd be there to move around a little bit. Okay? So I will show you how I do the mechanism to have him twirl around and whatnot. And then I'll put a thought bubble up here. And that should be pretty much it. All right. Okay then. As I usually say, we will let the fun begin. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. It'll be the final touches. I will, on this last segment, I'll glue it. I may have to cut the interior so it matches, so it won't be too much of a hassle when you open and close the card, because when you put glue down, it kind of constricts. It'll constrict the paper, and it kind of draws the paper to fold anyway. So we're gonna try to take care of that situation also. So on the final segment, we'll put it all together and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, stay tuned. Alrighty then, and I'll be right back. As you can see, I have it laid out. Okay, I got him positioned pretty much where I want him. Pretty much. And I'm gonna show you, this is the fold. Okay, so he has to have enough room placed where his elbows won't collide with the fold. All right, he's gonna pop out quite a bit. All right, I'm debating whether I should have the thought balloon float around too. I might. All right, all depends how I feel. Watercolor paper, little piece of scrap paper I used for the previous cutout. Okay, I'm gonna take this paper and I'm gonna cut it in half. Like so. Okay. Now this is one method that I've learned of how to make him. It's a spring. All right. And I'll just take some glue. I'll put a dab of glue. Yeah, you guys can see it here, like that. I'll put some glue right in here. Smear it around a little bit. And you're gonna make a little cross section, like so. And just hold it there for a few seconds or so. Just like this. Sorry, just like that. If you see the way I got the camera angled, you would laugh at me. Okay. But this is pretty much a little spring-loaded thing there, what it's going to be. Okay, so as it's drying, and what I'll do is I'll fold it upon itself. All right, much like this, and you just keep folding it on top of itself. Position myself here. Like so. Okay. And then where the paths cross, you got your little spring, just like so. Now I'm gonna glue the bottom parts together, like I've done the top. Just like that. Now you can have the spring as long or as short as you want. Okay. The base here underneath, that will be the part you're going to glue. The bottom down here. Somewhere around here. Wherever you want to position them. And then this will be placed on top like so. Okay, and he'll be placed on the paper. All right, that's basically it. So, as I'm doing this, I'll see where I want to place this guy. Now, while it's drying, let me scoot over here behind the camera a little bit. I'm going to take my little black marker and I'm going to just fill this in with black. Why am I filling it in with black? It'll somewhat match a little bit of the background back there. Place this right here for right now. So when you do place it down, at least it'll match a little bit. Okay, but that's basically it. So it matches a little. No more, no less. And you will place Spongy where he's pretty even. Okay. He'll pop and move around and all that good stuff. Okay, pretty much like that. And so he'll stick out a little bit, just like so. And remember, when he folds, you'd have a little room. All right, so I'll probably slide him over a little bit toward this area here. So when it does fold, it'll fold down, and his elbow won't get crushed, and he'll just compress. And that's it, really. All right. That looks pretty neat, right? OBKB. So we'll pretty much put him in this area here. But I want to pretty much glue him in there first. So I will take the glue, make a little cross section there, smudge it around a little bit, and I will just balance him on there. I'll put him in there somewhere. I'll go in reverse here. I'll slide him somewhere where he bounces pretty good, and just press it there, just keep it there. Okay. Let it dry pretty good. Once it dries and it sets in there real good, you can actually lift and pull the spring up as high as you want. But it really wouldn't matter because the thickness of the paper and the springiness of the paper, he'll pretty much be at a certain height no matter what. Okay, and then I will put some glue on this guy, spread out the glue. It holds better and it dries faster. Okay, and then it goes to the positioning of where you want him. Pretty much like that. So I'll keep him right there. He's at a pretty good height. Now while it's wet, you can position him. When he's sprung, he can be pretty much straight. And that's basically it. Okay, so I'll let him sit there and dry. And debating if I should have it come up like this with him or have him come down. All depends. I'm debating while I'm looking at this. I think I'll have it float around too. So let's cut off another piece of cardboard. It doesn't, or cardboard, the watercolor paper. I'll do a different type of fold for this guy. Because one is really light, I think I'll have him in a zigzag pattern. Something like that. Put him right about there, maybe. And set him up there like this. Okay, so he'll be pretty much like that. I'll bring it down a little bit. And I'll probably have it a little closer here. So that'd be pretty cool. All right. So I'll do it that way. I kind of like the wider base. Let's see. Yeah, I like the wider base. I'll put the wider base on the bottom. So this is not really too bad. There's more complicated versions of card making, a whole lot. If you guys like seeing me do the card stuff, drop me a line if you want to see some more. I'll do some more for you. Okay, so it's pretty much up to you how you guys want to, if you want to see me do more of these or not. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, while that's doing that, instead of trying to find the spot to put the glue on the actual paper, I will put the glue right here. Spread it around a little bit, like so. I will position it and just give it a press. Press it down, just keep it there for a second. I can always reposition once it's dry. So I press it down pretty good. Okay, it can be positioned anywhere you want it. This guy's pretty much set, and you can pretty much lift him and have him as far away as you want. But it would look pretty much like that. Okay. Now you see what I didn't do is I'll bring this out, color that in, and I can easily remedy that because I just wanted to match a little bit with its background. So we'll get a little bit of little marker trick here, and there you have it, the interior. Okay, you look at it from the side here. See, she sticks out a little bit. There. All right. And if you close it, you close it flat. Elbow's not crushed or anything. Okay. It should pretty much be like that. There. Alrighty. Now that that's done, I will marry the two together. It'll be in the inside, like so. Okay. Now here's the part where it may get a little tricky. Now, as the paper folds into each other, remember I told you there's going to be a space. See that little white right there? It's up here. That would have to be trimmed, especially in the back here. Let me position it. There, you guys can see that. See that little space? See that white? All of that would have to be trimmed. Have to be trimmed according to the outside edge here. All right. It's all right here, a little bit on the top, and you just trim it. X-Acto knife, and just just let it trim. Okay. There. And she would set like that. Whoops, she'll set like this. And got the outside cover. Okay. So what I'll do is just glue the pieces together flat. Well, when I glue them together, I'll show it to you. When I glue them together, I'm gonna have to fold it. I'll fold it, let it press, let it fold, let it fully dry, and then I will trim with an X-Acto blade, especially around the nest area. Just cut it, clean off, so we have something even. So when it does open and everything, it pretty much opens, evenly and closes evenly. Pretty large card, physically large card, but it'll be pretty cool once it's complete. So, since I went this far, I might as well show you that process too. And once I'm done with that, then I'll set this under a book, let it totally flatten out and everything, and then I'll do the trimming and you'll see the final result. Okay, so let's get to gluing this thing together here. Now, in gluing something like this together, not really a complicated process. Keep as close to the edge as you possibly. Remember, this glue will smush and spread out, so you don't want it butted right up against the edge. Don't do that. Don't do that. Get it as close to the edge as you can, like so. All right. And I usually do the little X pattern. Do it here on this side too. Little X pattern, like so. It gives a pretty good seal, closes it up quite nicely. When you go to place this on here, okay, place it on, but place it to where it closes, like this. Place it closed. It's more important to keep it closed. All right, you can always open it to whatever way you want to open it later, but it's best to do it while it's closed, like so. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to have it crushed by a couple of very heavy magazines. All right, so while it's drying, I'm going to take this microphone off. I'll be back, I'll trim it, and I'll show you the final result. All right, guys. Be right back. Okay, guys. Well, here she is. Okay, back cover. Obviously, if you open it, all right, and turn it around, there she is, or there he is, in his little 3D glory. See? And you can twist him, have him pop out as far as you want him to come out. But he's out there. You can tell by the little cast shadow that it would produce. This guy here, you can adjust it any way you want. Okay. I know the glare of the lights makes it a little bright because I got the overhead light on. But that's it. Okay, that's where they jet out at. Open it up, turn it around. Okay. But that's the card. And you set it whatever. Set it like this, fold it, you can set it, you know, like so. However way you want to look at it. But there she is. She closes, opens up, pops around. Okay, so it's one way how to do a card. All right. So once again, thank you for enduring all of this. Hopefully she'll like it. It's her favorite character, so. Anyway, I hope you like how I put this together. It's my first card video. It's pretty lengthy, but that's what it's entailed just for one of these. Imagine some of the more intricate ones that I would do from time to time. If anybody does need a card or whatever, just private message me. I do whatever cards you need. This is the character she likes, so this is what I did for her. Or her mom, anyway. She doesn't know she's getting this. And she's not on my wall, she's not on my Facebook page, so, you know, it's a pretty much safe deal. You know, to produce it and to show it, because she doesn't visit my wall, like I said. But it's pretty cool. Okay. Still got the 3D effect with the mountains in the back and the coral and all that good stuff, and the water on top. You know what I'm talking about. Once again, thank you for checking this out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. You'll see my Facebook page over here, and I'll see you next time. And God bless. Happy painting. Thank you for watching this. I know it's a little lengthy, but I hope it was worth it for you. and I'll see you next time. All right. Peace.